I want to introduce our next guest speaker. She is the chair and member of the Republican National Committee Grassroots Election Integrity Commission, and something else is very important, the Baltimore County Precinct Project. This is right at the grassroots. And Kate Sullivan, you have your middle name here. How do I say that?
Strauss.
Strauss?
It's my maiden name.
It's your maiden name?
Yes.
Kate Strauss Sullivan, and here she is.
Yes, please do. Thank you, Pat. It really is an honor to be here tonight to say a few words about Darren. And I feel like people get up and they say it's an honor to be here because that's what you say, but in this case, I truly mean it. It's really important to me to be able to speak on behalf of Darren. I have a question, and I'm hoping that this is going to go the way I think it's going to go. How many in this room have been to a political fundraiser before 2016? Okay. How many had been to a political fundraiser before 2020? Around 2020, okay, a little bit more. That is a pretty common, there's not a lot of people that were political before 2020. Maybe a few moved the needle in 2016, but 2020 changed people. And it certainly changed me. About a year ago, year of change, I was screaming to an abyss somewhere in my office about the direction of the country. And I was very much on the sidelines, pointing and screaming at what other people had done. And I was very frustrated. And what happened was I started to dive in and see how can I get involved. And what I learned about was precinct work. Precinct work is, not only did it bring me to Darren, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that later, but precinct work is nothing new. It's a political apparatus by which average everyday citizens can get their voice out there. It's also a political tool where they take this behemoth task of getting elected, and they sort of break it down into little pieces that we call precincts. And it's a very easy, my view of it was, this is an easy way for me to get involved. And if you want to know more about the Precinct Project, I'm happy to share that with you a little bit later, but I want to talk specifically about the way that it brought me to Darren. The work that we've been doing over the past year, knocking on doors and trying to get issues into the American public, trying to circumvent that American media that wants to wipe away facts and data that we know to be true, and knocking on doors directly, talking to people. And Darren has showed up at every door knock. I met him at a precinct training. He's supported all the different candidates. I go to different events and he is always there. And I will also say, and I'm going to say this, I hope in the right way, I'm very proud of him because he is an everyday guy that, like all of you, had probably never been to a political event before 2016. I don't know that as a fact, but I'm going to guess that he's not really a political guy. But he has children and a family, and he was on the sidelines raising his family and providing for his family. And he decided in 2020 enough was enough. And he stood up and he's gotten involved. And he's gotten so good at it, and I mean it in the best possible way. He's not a political animal, but he's become a political animal, and I'm really excited about that. And the reason it's a good form of a political animal is it's authentic. He is an incredible guy. He is an incredible guy. He's the kind of guy that you'd want to be your favorite uncle, and then yet he would be there being our Baltimore County executive. He will be responsible with our money. He understands that. That's why he ran. That's why he's running. He's running because school boards are messed up. Politics are in school. Those things were upsetting him. He is in it for all the right reasons. When we founded this country, those were the people That's why they got involved. Those citizens, that's why they got involved. And he's doing it not because it's going to further his career or because he wants to someday run for governor. No, he is doing this because the issues are important to him, and he's not going to forget that. He doesn't need to memorize political speeches. He feels every single thing that all of you feel in this room. And that's important to me, and that's, of course, when he asked me to speak on his behalf, it was a no-brainer. I was happy to do so. One of the things I didn't want to forget to say is something that brings it home, and I think that Pat talked about this right in the beginning, but I felt like the room was just getting started, and I don't want it to be missed. Johnny O, and I am sure Johnny O, I won't say that. Johnny O, when he was doing the budget, he and his staff an 8% raise, yet only gave 2% to the police. And when I wrote to Johnny O, his little form letter that I received said, well, we funded, we gave them something. They acted as if 2% was just fine. Yet there's 77% increase, budget increase in Parks and Rec, whatever that is. But our police get 2%. So people like Johnny O, they're not America First candidates. The people in power right now, they shut down our schools. They've mandated, they locked us down, as Mary can tell you. She's been at the forefront of that since the beginning. They locked us down, they've mandated us, they've placed politics in schools. And we need people like Darren who are gonna fight all of that. So, one of the things that I've noticed over the course of this year are all of the people, the regular people that have gotten involved. These are people just like you and me a year ago. They've gotten involved. And I hear all the time, because I sort of bridge the gap between this grassroots movement and working really hard with people like Al Mendelson, who's on the Central Committee, that sort of apparatus that's got that wisdom and experience. I think it's really important for the two to work together. The two sides can be stronger together. And when we work with these people that have been around the block a really long time, I get it. It's hard to say, well, you know, Republicans, they don't do real well in Maryland. I am telling you, we're in a different world. This is 2022 ain't nothing like 2020. And I am telling you, it's different. All of you are here tonight, and that is the first step. Please, please, please get involved, support Darren and all the great candidates that were here tonight. If they're here tonight, they align with Darren, and that's a really good sign. So I'm gonna steal a line from a friend of mine who says that you need two things to win an election. And the first is you need money. And the second, I have no idea what it is, I forgot. So I love that line, I stole it, but I really also wanna say, putting in your time, your energy, absolutely through things like the Precinct Project. See me if you want to learn more about that. And also your money. It's going to help it because the Democrats, they make winning a full-time job, and they're pretty good at it in Maryland. So we have to meet their energy. Please, please, please support Darren. We really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you all for your attention.